playing outdoor games, even indoor games. That's for playing an actual virtual game. Yes. Yes.
Your name and division, please, Kush.
I'm Kushwan from Group Risk Management.
I have two questions only. Number one, if you had a chance to be the Prime Minister of India, would you reflect and take the position? Because as
it won't come.
No, let's say if you were the Prime Minister of India, would you say that
I will take it if it comes.
you will take it?
I'll turn the country around in 2 years.
And that's what I wanted to hear.
I will turn it around. Do you know how? You might say how.
How? Guess it.
Guess it. How? No magic. I would travel around. I would not start my day with the office as a Prime Minister. I would start my day in any office. Anybody in any Indian office. I'll walk into a police station as a Prime. My security wouldn't even know where the Prime Minister is going. I'll walk into a school. I'll walk into a factory. I'll walk into a hospital. I'll walk in to see what's going on. Nobody will know. Later on, people will know the Prime Minister came. But this is to sense what's not going right and what must go right. That's called working from periphery to the core. Those of us who work from periphery to the core get the right ideas because you're at the bottom, right? But the good news is you've got the power to go to the core and change that, right? What happens amongst us leaders is we stay at the core. We don't go to the periphery. The secret of my success has been I've moved from always in core to periphery, periphery to core. I would go to do that. You'll see what will happen. Then what will happen is that any office in the country would expect the Prime Minister. They will all be in office in time. They'll all do the job better because the Prime Minister may come and ask any question at any time. Right? Then it will be setting an example. If the Prime Minister goes, you think the rest of the cabinet ministers can sit in the office? No. That means, and do you think the bureaucrats can sit in the office? No. Everybody will be in the field and the rule will be no meetings till 12 noon. Only periphery. Only meetings, all meetings after lunchtime. That means everybody's in the field, looking at things, sensing, meeting people, which means truly people's government. Right? That is why less than 2 years, India will change.
Next question. Speaking about India as well, since you left the force, do you see India today different than when you were in the force and when you're out of the force today?
Absolutely, it has to be different. Because technology is changing in the whole world. It has to be different. Today, one bad news is known to 1 billion people in India. Through 500 television channels. During my time, there was one channel. And those also was a black and white channel, you know those days? And very few people, the middle class only had it. That's all. And that too is restricted to Delhi and then later on black and white came. It was restricted. Today 500 channels, do you know what they're doing? They're competing with news. They go searching sting operations. They try catch people off guard. And that's how they break news, called breaking news. So you look at which is the new sting now. And they're stinging the people in the key position. And they're trying now, the news is not getting the small fish. The real news is getting the big fish. And you know what? Lately, one of the most popular editor of an English daily, weekly magazine is in jail today. He's in police custody for having committed sexual harassment to his junior colleague. India's leading weekly journalist called Tarun Tejpal is in police custody of Goa for having committed sexual assault, or it's termed rape now under the new law, in police custody. You could not have imagined this happening a few years ago. And do you know why it happened? technology. They exchanged emails of regret also. So it's admission of guilt. So technology worked. And then the cameras caught him. Cameras caught him in the elevators and cameras caught him in the lobbies. They caught him. Technology is catching him. So now technology evidence is not refutable. Otherwise, could the same police have touched him? And this man is very close to powers that be. So India, thanks to the media. Thanks to the media. And secondly, another reason India has changed is the civil society has got legally literate. They don't go to law schools, but because of the media, there's so much of legal awareness now and social awareness, and now demanding more and more accountability. Saying, okay, if we haven't got it, you better pay twice more because you are caught in the act. Right? So if we gave you adulation, we've got to deflate you also now, fully. So they look at deflation. Just as they look for inflation, they look for deflation. And as fast as it could be. So India has changed completely. Thanks to technology, thanks to media, thanks to social networking. We're all on some form of social networking, each one of us. And the message goes wild. So if the print wants to protect, television wants to protect, social network does not. It comes on a Twitter buzzer and it goes trending immediately. So that's what is 1.2 billion people today. So India is now a very scary country. Yes, any other? What was the second question? You had two. Second, okay. Okay, that's correct. Your question.
Your name and your division.
Hi, I'm Stephen from HAB. Firstly, we will try to find Radhika Menon for you, if we can. Okay. So my first question is that you have achieved so many things in your life at the age of 63. If you were to reflect back, what are the things that you have given up in your life to what you have achieved today?
The kitchen. That's 100% 100% true statement. I get what I'm fed. I get whatever comes on the table. But I ensure I get the right thing. So that's 100% given up. Rest is all accommodated. Yes.
Hi, I'm Yushida and I'm from HR. With all the choices that you made, right? I'm just curious, how has it impacted your family, your husband, and your children? How have they been in this ride of yours?
The first impact is that my daughter doesn't have a brother or a sister. Because I can't bloat around every time. That's it. That's my first impact. Second impact is we serve each other. I don't serve my husband. We serve each other. But he gets to serve me more because I'm busier than him. As simple as that. Third, I've never asked him for anything. He's not my provider. He's only my friend and companion, but not my financial provider. He's not. If he would give me something, I'll donate it. So this is my third. So he can never say, I have a wife who I provide for. No. He may be saying, my wife provides for me. So I think these are very... See, I told you I never got a social script when I was growing up. I wrote my own script. My daughter, she's a mother already. And she's a very good mom. She loves her daughter and I have a grandchild. She's a very... I don't know where she learned mothering from. Maybe she's my opposite. That's why she's so good. Because I'm more of a disciplinarian, she's more of a balancer. Can you beat it? She's giving her child homeschooling. She's giving homeschooling. She's, Mom, I don't like that baccalaureate schools. I want her to give homeschooling. And the child already knows so much more at the age of 6. So she's into homeschooling. Because my son-in-law is an author and a writer, so it's a very creative family. That's how they are. They're choosing to do it differently. Would I have ever done homeschooling? No way.
In the movie, the first part of the movie, when they interviewed your daughter, she was recorded as having said that, my mother's Kiran Bedi, and the problem with Kiran Bedi is she's in love with Kiran Bedi.
She's not sparing.
Yeah, she doesn't spare her words. But it was nice to see, towards the end of the movie, they interviewed her again, and she says, the best present they gave to me was Kiran Bedi. So it's a beautiful turnaround. So she has had a very challenging relationship with
Absolutely.
her daughter, to put it mildly. So,
Truly challenging.
yes.
Oh, that's a mildly. You're right. It's mild.
Yes.
I think if you ask me what was the toughest thing to do, was to be a mother. In my career, nothing. Where I found no answers at times, if you ask me, was being a mother. Handling a teenager daughter with not enough time in my hand. That to me was absolutely the toughest. See, you did ask this question, I've given it to you. You seem to be curious about it. Any other question?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
My name is Rosina from Etika. Firstly, I just want to say it's a privilege to have you here. Thank you for spending some time with us. In many of your struggles, my question is, in many of your struggles, I'm sure you have some very difficult times without your life. Where do you draw the strength and the energy to do the things that you did? Because sometimes when everything seems to be against you and the odds are against you, how do you drive yourself to continue to do the things that you have done?
You know, I love a challenge. I love a problem. Because that is when I actually test myself. When you have everything going with you, right resources, right position, where's the challenge? When are you testing yourself? You test yourself when you are in adversity. Fortunately, I was always in my legal position. I may not have had the resources or the support systems, but I was always in a legal position, which for me was the biggest strength. Nobody could take away the law, the legal position which I was in, which is my uniform, my policing, my designation. After that, I may have adversity and enemies or lack of resources. I addressed those and I found them. I had the capacity to generate resources or find solutions. I had that capacity. That's my strength. Why? Again, when you play a lot, when you play competitive tennis, what do? You're into such stressful situations. You're playing in a crowd which is sometimes hooting against you, and yet you win. How do you win? You handle that, and yet you focus on how do you win. You learn that. That is why I've always said, to become a better manager later on, particularly for girls, sports girls is a very plus advantage, particularly competitive girls. And I noticed that in the West, they are now encouraging mothers to send their girls to play competitively so that they could be more competitive, problem solving when they're at workplace. I was already a problem solver when I was a teenager, sorting out things for myself. So strategizing, focusing on the win, preparing to win, having not enough resources all the time. What is this? This is all about your personal management. So I love a challenge when it comes. So because my focus is, it's a fact, I've said this, one of my lawyers' strike, which went on for 9 years. I had a legal battle with lawyers because I arrested one of the lawyers for theft. And you know, legal community, you can't even touch them, some of them. And a lawyer was arrested. He's now challenged, how dare a police officer could arrest a lawyer. They took me to court for 9 years, legal battle. And I said, I have played a 9-set match, not a 3-set match. I think this is what is all about preparation. And stamina, and endurance. And your attitude. Your attitude has to develop also, as I said, your base. That's where your base is. Negativity to positivity. And also that also comes from regular nutrition from within. Attitude is important. Preparation is important. Stamina is important.